Alright everyone, today we are not just doing homework, we are stepping into the Chinese Math Olympiad. And for those who don't know, CMO is basically the Avengers endgame of math. Okay, and the questions are designed to make you cry, but we're going to make the math cry. And specifically we are looking at a problem involving a negative parameter a and a whole lot of trigonometry. So let's go to the question first. Question says, if the inequality sine square x plus a cos x plus a square greater than equal to 1 plus cos x holds for any x belongs to R, the range of values for negative a is what? Okay, and we have to calculate it. Okay, so we have the equation what? Sine square x plus a cos x plus a square greater than equal to 1 plus cos x, right? Now look at this. It's got a sine square, it's got a cos, and it's got an a square. So it's basically a math smoothie, you can say. The question asks if this holds for every single real number x and a is negative, what is the range of a? Okay, so at first glance you might want to turn the sine square x into 1 minus cos square x and start a war. But in an Olympiad, we don't just fight, we fight smart. We need a strategy, right? So if an inequality works for every x, it must work for the easy x. Okay, so this is what I call the lazy genius method. What's the easiest x to plug into a cosine function? 0. Okay, so let's test x equal to 0. So at x is equal to 0, sine 0 is what? 0. Cos 0 is what? 1. And our inequality becomes 0 square plus a into 1 plus a square greater than equal to 1 plus 1. So a square plus a greater than equal to 2 and a square plus a minus 2 greater than equal to 0. Now factor that like a pro. So it will be a plus 2 into a minus 1 greater than equal to 0. So this means a greater than equal to 1 or a less than equal to minus 2. But the problem specifically said a is negative. So a greater than equal to 1 is tossed out like yesterday's lunch. We are just left with a less than equal to minus 2. Now most of the people stop here and think they are done. But this is not the CMO. We only prove that if it works, a must be less than equal to minus 2. Now we have to prove that if a less than equal to minus 2, it definitely works for all other values of x. Okay. Now in complex inequalities, rather than solving for x directly, we often bound the sides and we show that the minimum of the left side is still greater than the maximum of the right side. It's like saying, even at my worst, I'm still better than your best. Okay, so let's rearrange the original inequality to see if we can use this bounding principle. So sine square x plus a cos x plus a square greater than equal to 1 plus cos x, right? So replace with sine square x with 1 minus cos square x. So 1 minus cos square x plus a cos x plus a square greater than equal to 1 plus cos x. Now subtract 1 from both sides and move the cos square x to the right. So we get a square plus a cos x greater than equal to cos square x plus cos x, right? Now if a less than equal to minus 2, we know that a square plus a greater than equal to 2 because a square plus a minus 2 greater than equal to 0, right? And also since a is negative and cos x less than equal to 1, then definitely a cos x greater than equal to a. Wait, let me repeat that for all the people in the back. Since a is negative, like minus 2, multiplying it by something small like 0.5 makes it larger, like minus 1. So, a square plus a cos x greater than equal to a square plus a, and we already know that a square plus a greater than equal to 2, therefore left side is at least 2. Now look at the right side, that is cos square x plus cos x. Now what's the maximum value of cos square x plus cos x? When cos x equal to 1, it's 1 square plus 1, that is 2. So the left side is greater than equal to 2 and the right side is less than equal to 2. Yes, so the inequality satisfied. Now most of the students who try to treat this as a quadratic in cos x find the discriminant and get lost in a forest of algebra. The thing here is realizing that the boundary case, that is x is equal to 0, actually dictates the behavior of the entire function, and the problem collapses perfectly because the maximum of one side meets the minimum of the other at exactly the same pinch point. Okay, so do you see the beauty here? We did not need a 3-page of proof. We just found the pinch point where the two sides of the inequality shake hands, and this is the hallmark of an Olympiad problem. It looks like a mountain, but it has a secret tunnel if you are brave enough to look for it. Okay, so this is the total solution for this question. Okay, so see you in the next session with a new question of Chinese Math Olympiad. Don't miss that out. It will be very beneficial for you guys. So see you in the next session. Till then, keep learning and keep growing with only Dr. Shorob's classes. Bye bye and see you.